diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairing on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. Check, we Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairing, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death. I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops, then find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elder, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairing on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairing on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing, sun up, baby.
Yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack, Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at. No cap if the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking, cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty. You already know what it is. Back with another one. And we in the building. Happy hump day. Okay. So listen, man. Special show today. Got a live interview. History in the making between Urban Edge, NBA G League, Texas Legends. Both president, GMs in the building. Mr. Pelt's in the building. You already know it is going to be a wonderful show. Live interview, getting into all the nitty gritty of everything of what's going down in the HBCU space as well as the NBA G League space. Or you can say the NBA space as well as always. All right. So listen, got a couple of announcements that we're going to get into tonight. You know, we got to talk about Swag Media Day. I don't even think it's being broadcasted. I just listen. I be telling y'all it's the curse of prime. Okay. It's the curse of prime. Until you do right by Dion, nothing good is going to happen to you. So we're going to talk about that later today in the show as well as always. All right. But without further ado, please give it up for today's special guest, Mr. Hardy Pelt from Urban Edge and Mr. Malcolm Farmer from the Texas Legends.
What's up, Malcolm?
Hardy, how we doing? Scotty, how we doing?
I am doing well, sir. How about you guys? How you guys doing today?
Doing great.
It's been busy 24 hours, so we trying to get some sleep tonight, hopefully.
I understand. You know, big business, big money, big time, right? So let's listen. I'm gonna cut all the. Let's just get right to it because we know what people are here for. How? You know, like at the end of the day, a black media company, NBA G League. How does this deal even come about? How did the parameters? How did you guys? You know, I know, Mr. Pelt, you've had time in the NBA, but how did you and Mr. Farmer come together and say, hey, I think this is a great partnership? How?
Malcolm, I have to let you tell them the story because they may not believe it if I tell them.
Sure. Look, Hardy and I started talking back in 2020 and just got to know each other a little bit, you know, literally, the whole world is in shelter in place and, you know, we're all just trying to figure out if we're going to come out the other side of that thing. Hardy and I just jumped on a virtual call and really was just kind of a get to know you session. And you know, I learned a little bit about what he was doing. He learned about what we were doing. And, you know, we've been in touch ever since. The conversation has evolved in a variety of different ways. And, you know, we loved the ease of the platform that Hardy has. And as we looked at it more and more, it was like, this is a platform that makes our product accessible. It features it to a fantastic demographic. And, you know, in this day and age of, you know, RSNs evolving or devolving and the challenges thereof, we were like, this is a fantastic opportunity to partner up with a platform that is up and coming and has all the features, bells and whistles that we could possibly ask for.
Mr. Pelt, when your conversation with Mr. Farmer was going on, did you know, getting to know him, you know, what you guys could do together, was this always a plan in the back of your mind of like, you know, could we possibly partner with Texas Legends? Could me and Malcolm come together and do something big?
Yes, and the reason why was because even though we like to be very clear that we're a black-owned media company, we don't let them say diverse. We don't let them say, because I tell people all the time, if I rob a bank tonight, you're going to say a black man robbed this bank. You ain't going to say a minority or diverse man. You're going to say a black man. So we're trying to take that sting out of the industry of saying because somehow black is on it, something's wrong with it. It ain't nothing wrong with it. So I'm always looking for opportunities to show and showcase the product. Let me give you an example. Most people don't know our back end is specialized, built through Microsoft and Accenture and Dollar and the brother who runs it is a guy named KJ Jackson. He's a pastor. Most people don't know we found him as a pastor. I gave him the vision of what we wanted, and he built it.
Shout out to KJ.
Yeah, shout out to KJ. And so now he's built his own tech company now, black owned, because of that. And these types of partnerships, I'm trying to break down every barrier there it is, every stigma there is. And I need guys like Malcolm. I mean, I got to tell you, the first time I talked to him, I think I asked him 3 times, you sure you still in the NBA? Because he was so innovative in what he was saying. He was like adding stuff on as he was like, oh, we can do this and we can do that. And then he began to talk about the HBCUs and Scotty and the audience, just so you guys know, Malcolm will tell you, I quiz everybody on how many HBCUs can you name. Well, he knew a bunch of them. I think he knew all of them, and they were actually already working with Paul Quinn. So his whole mission was very sincere, and we held him to that, and it's turned into this, and it's about to get bananas. Y'all don't even know. This is about to take the whole NBA to a whole nother level for the things that we're about to do.
So to pile on there, some of the things Hardy said, like we certainly do challenge the NBA at times. I'll leave it at that. And look, this has been, Hardy, you and I have been going back and forth with the NBA on this thing for a number of months now. Yeah. And, the NBA had to, write the language, bless it, do all that wonderful stuff. And Hardy, I don't want to put you on blast here or anything, but I think that Hardy was a little bit like, I don't think Malcolm can get this done. I don't think Malcolm can get the NBA to sign off on this. And so we got it home, and look, kudos to the NBA for eventually understanding where we were going and the vision. And look, there's multiple angles to this thing, and there's components of the partnership that, frankly, Hardy and I haven't even announced yet. And it'll be coming out here as we get going a little further, and some additional events and stuff that we're excited about. But I don't want to make the vision with HBCUs is important.
Absolutely.
But I'm not going to BS it one bit. If Hardy's platform wasn't the real deal, we could not make this happen.
Come on, Mr.
It's
Farmer.
the real deal. Like it was, I downloaded it. I started watching HBCU Plus. I was like, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed here, guys. Like some of this technology and all the different, ways you got to navigate through to get something to work on your TV. This was the easiest viewing experience that I've ever seen. And that's part of what I love about it, because right now in the streaming broadcast world, everywhere you look, there are hurdles and there are barriers to entry. And I'm looking at what Hardy's doing. And I was like, if I can figure this thing out with, very quickly, then I know that everyone else can get on there real quick and figure it out too. And I was just like, there's so little barriers to entry. This thing makes sense all the way around. So I don't want to, the HBCU component is really cool. And yes, we're all in. But at the same token, the platform's got to work. And that's where we got really excited when everything aligned.
I love it. Now, Mr. Pelt and Mr. Farmer, you kind of stole my thunder, because I was going to ask you, Mr. Farmer, what keeps you thinking ahead? Like that when I've read your bio and I've seen the places that you've been a visionary in a lot of areas that you've gone to. You know what I'm saying? Being one of the first teams in the league to sell a jersey sponsorship, being one of the first in the league to have a team foundation, being the first professional sports team to have a title sponsor of a foreign state. What about you and who you are keeps you thinking ahead and thinking down the street?
Well, first of all, we won't get into how many times on that list the league fined us for these.
Now you see why we get along so good, Scotty.
Look, we hosted a breakfast yesterday morning that one of Hardy's partners was at. And it's for all of our partners to show up, break bread, get to know one another. For us, it's about opening up our Rolodex and sharing that Rolodex with everyone. And literally, Scotty, that question was asked of me at yesterday's breakfast.
Wow.
And you want to know what I'll tell you the same answer I told the room yesterday. Was the question specifically was, how many firsts have you guys had? Or times when you've pushed the boundaries of what the NBA currently allowed and things like that. And my answer was, I don't know and I don't care. And it's because as I see the world, what you got up there on the screen is yesterday's news, man. And the only easy day in our lives is yesterday. No matter what day it is, yesterday was always the easy day. And so I'm looking at it as, where can we go next? What's on the cutting edge of where we can go? And I don't really think about it in terms of we've done this or we've done that. To me, it may be exciting content to write a book about someday, but right now it's boring because I've already done that. We've already lived that as Texas Legends, our staff, our team. We've lived that already. So we're more interested in is where we're going and what we're going to do in the future. And we're living it right now with Hardy and HBCU Plus. And that's exciting.
I love it. I love what you're saying. Because some people get caught up with the accolades, of the I call them resume bullets. Right, to where it's like, I've done these things and you should come get me because I've done these things. But for you, you're simply saying yeah, I've done them, but we already passed that. you know, because time and technology is moving just as quickly, and everybody else is innovating as well. I absolutely love that, Mr. Farmer. Now,
first of all, hey Scotty, no more of this Mr. Farmer business. All right, my name is Malcolm. You call me Malcolm, and
I
that's
don't know why he calls me Mr. Pelt. I think I'm younger than him.
listen, my mama watches my stream, and when I get on, and she says you call that man by his first name and you don't call him like that, I got to answer to her. So I'm gonna just call you Malcolm, Mom. Listen, it wasn't my idea, okay, Mr. Malcolm. Let me go. No, I'm throwing this to you, Mr. Pelt. What is the vision you see for this partnership going down the line? Because once again, Mr. Farmer is a forward thinker. You are a forward thinker. Where do you all see? And I know it's probably some things that you can't announce right now because I know it's part of the vision in the partnership. But overall, what is the vision you see for this partnership?
Well, we're gonna do a new launch August 1st of a new look and feel that I think is gonna redefine a lot of this. First of all, that's number one. We've challenged the tech companies at the same time to say, use us first, let us. Because one of the things I always tell people, I hated when I saw that the HBCUs have become the last on the deal team, last to know. That's why you see the deal with McLeod, for example, where Coach Hugh now can see how fast a kid's running or what's his, his sweat intake, all kinds of crazy stuff, because those things are your mom.
Yeah, I told you she was.
But this partnership allows myself and Malcolm to really now go to the next level and leverage the brands to say, come here first. Let us do it. Let us implement it. Let it touch us. I'm going to teach everybody a new industry word. Every year the industry comes up with these phrases and things that drives me nuts, but they do it. And the new word of the day, write this down, is called reach.
What's my reach?
That's the word. I don't care where you go. They want to know what's the reach. As I keep telling everybody, it was all about impressions. That was hot for a little bit, but now it's about reach. So this allows us to reach on both sides because of the technology we already have to reach that sports fan, the legend fan, the NBA G League fan, and the HBCU fan all at once.
I love it.
So I can target it accordingly. And that's why you saw the University of Georgia and you saw Ohio State immediately say, we jumping on this now. Mm-hmm. Because they said, we get it. So now we're in a position to not only take care of the Legends folks, but he now comes back and says, now let me enhance your product at the same time. Very rare you get to get those kind of opportunities and everybody eats and everybody wins at the same time. Very rare you get that opportunity.
Like I said, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, so I'm not sure what reach is. And it sure sounds like Hardy's got a lot of it. And I'll add to that, reach is important. Impressions are important. Yeah, all that stuff matters. And this is a platform that does all that. But impact is important too.
Absolutely.
And I'm excited about the impact that we can have on a community. And then those communities, they can, it's a bridge bringing communities together. And I'm excited about the different things we can do on that front as well.
Mr. Farmer, when we're talking about the vision, because there's a vision side for Mr. Pelt with the HBCU and the NBA, him being a former, but as a G League, your vision, where are you trying to take the Texas Legends? Because this isn't a G League sponsorship. This is my team. I see a benefit for my team to be a part of this. So when you saw it, where do you see the Texas Legends growing and winning on this behalf of the partnership?
Well, first of all, you should read between the lines of what I don't say sometimes, but this is a Texas Legends partnership right now. And we'll see where it ends up. Okay. So Hardy and I have had other conversations and we'll see where that goes. We got some things. There's a reason why someone had to go first. So here we go. So we're excited about that. And where do we want to take the Legends? We like with the Legends, we look at the world a little different. Okay. We're not trying to be like every other sports team. And I'm not trying to put them all in a bucket, but sports teams have a tendency to look at things all very similar. And the world's changing. The way we consume media is changing. The way we consume social media is literally changing at our fingertips. Mm-hmm. And it's good and bad. Okay. I got my own personal views on some of that. And like it's good and it's bad. But we've got to be ready to evolve quickly. And with the Legends, I want our product to be accessible to everyone. And that goes not just the way we consume it on HBCU Plus, that goes at our games, right? We create a price point for tickets where everyone has a chance to attend. And that's important to me. That's important to our team, because I'm a huge believer that sports in its true form, in its original form, was there to bring communities together.
That's good.
To bring people of a wide range of backgrounds, religions, races, creeds, whatever you want to say, to bring them all together and have a shared experience.
Yeah.
And we've gotten, in my opinion, a little bit away from that, or in some cases, a lot of bit away from that. And so we want to have a platform both in venue and out of venue where everyone has a chance to have that experience, so that you can share that experience. And you know what? We can all have a common bond then. We can all have common experiences that we can share in, and we got a whole lot more in common than we do otherwise. And so we've done that in venue, and I think we've done a pretty damn good job of it. And this is part of a way to do that out of venue. And that's, again, why I looked at that platform and I was like, this makes it accessible to everyone. And there's some fun things that we're going to do to continue to spice that up. But that's the vision that we have for it.
Man, you guys are really stealing my thunder. Like, you're going right, we're flowing so nicely, because my next question, at the end of the day, we know numbers talk, right? That's what it's all about. So, Mr. Farmer, back to with streaming on a free platform, right? How do the Legends get their ROI? And if anybody doesn't know what ROI means, return of investment, how will you guys going to benefit off of streaming your games on a free platform? Because we all know, with ESPN buying this and Fox buying this and CBS buying the rights for that you decide to partner with a company that does not, you don't have to pay for it. It's a partnership. How do you guys get the ROI back?
Through more exposure, through the very platforms you just named have got barriers to entry. Hardy's, HBCU Plus, the barrier to entry is download the app. That's it. Like, we're functioning, here it is. And so we're going to get more exposure. We're going to have more people are going to see our product. People who otherwise would never have seen our product
absolutely
are going to see it. They're going to consume it.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, they're going to show up at our games. In some cases, we're going to take the very viewer that Hardy has, and they're going to be like, I want to go check that thing out in person. And they're going to show up at our games. And the opposite is going to happen as well. Both sides are going to benefit on that front.
And Scotty, remember now, the Dallas Business District and Texas, what Malcolm didn't tell you was, and I can't thank Todd enough. Todd was at the breakfast yesterday. Todd Brown, my partner, I call him the fearless leader. He's invaluable to me, because he's kind of that rock that tells me everything that I need to watch out for. I'm always running 100 miles an hour, and then he goes, whoa, watch out for that type thing. But the people we have already met, Scotty, the gentleman that owned the 4 or 5 Dave and Buster's, the chiropractor that owned a couple of practices. There's big money in Dallas. And it's particularly now we're able to offer an additional media component to them, just like we offer to the HBCUs. It's hey, there's an experience here, just like an HBCU. As I tell everybody, I love Georgia, but Georgia and watching a Clark Atlanta game is going to be a little different. You know what I mean? There's going to be some pageantry. There's going to be some other things going on. What's kind of like that at the G League piece, where there's some basketball going on, but there's a lot of adventure and atmosphere and family fun and all those other things. But then we still get to bring that basic media component to those same companies that's going to grow their business and grow Malcolm's bottom line and bring us new revenue streams to help share with our HBCU partners at the same time.
I like it. Now, going a little deeper into this, how does UEN benefit off this? You know what I'm saying? Because yes, we know the Texas, we know it's about the reach for Texas Legends. It's about getting that consumer who's a part of your platform to go to their games. How does UEN benefit off this of partnership with the Texas Legends and the G League and whatever future endeavors that come about as well?
Yeah, remember, I'm gonna take you back now. Break out your notes. Reach. It's reach. That's all I got. I got reach, and I can monetize reach all day. Reach and impressions, and I'm gonna get all the money. We good. But remember when we started this movement, and I can't, again, Byron Allen, Roland Martin, Todd Brown, don't ever disrespect those folks. Byron is I tell everybody, the revolution ain't being televised, but it damn sure is being streamed because he financed the revolution. And all we did was say to the agencies, what do you want? Why aren't you buying Black-owned media? And all it boiled down to was, hey, you don't have the stuff I can buy. So we went and got it. And now we're about to go to another level in technology and another level of partnership, because now I can do tentpole events. I can do all type of on-site activations and things of that nature that complement that media budget and still break bread with my HBCU partners at the same time. So we benefit all day. And as we don't let the cat out of the bag too early, scalability. Write that word down, y'all. Scalable. There's more than one G League team. We love the Texas team. They always gonna be family to us. So y'all welcome in the family. Y'all watch them. If y'all in the Dallas area, go see them. But we looking to expand, and Malcolm is always gonna be the father of this whole thing.
I love it. Being the vision. It's already old news. That happened yesterday.
That happened yesterday. We go on to something else.
You know what I'm saying? We wait for the next one. What's up, Mr. Barber?
I want to say though that Hardy says I'm visionary or whatever. Hardy, his team, they got a vision, and I share in that vision. Yeah. And that's exciting to me. Just the fact that this thing started 3 years ago, and we're just really, this is the tip of the iceberg as we begin to take some of those conversations public as to, hey, we got this partnership going. There's other things that this thing can grow into that we're excited about. And it just, to me, this kind of has a little bit of this conversation originated in a time when, the economy was contracting. The economy was, everyone's working from home. Everyone's like just trying to hang on to their jobs whenever they could. Right. And now I'm like, this conversation is coming to fruition. Yeah. And I just think it's a really cool story there. It's not like this happened overnight. This has been a get to know you session for a while, and it's exciting to see it come to fruition now.
Yeah. All right, Scott, I want to say I'm just excited for the entire community on both sides to watch this happen real life. I tell people sometimes creating a marketplace for anything can be messy. And because somebody asked me about a week ago, Malcolm, they said, aren't you upset that HBCU Go is in the space of HBCU? And I said, no, why? And they said, well, it seems like they're, and I said, no, that's called competition. It's called marketplace. I'm always going to push them. Black College Sports Network, shout out to Roy Evans. Listen, most people don't even know, Malcolm, when we started, somehow Roy Evans put a game on while Nissan was watching. And I till this day, I'll never admit that it was either real or not. But at the end of the day, that guy helped us start this business. So we invested back in him and said, now you go do your thing. So I need all of y'all in there, because now, and I'm trying to push it again to say, now let's go outside of the box and let's continue to grow so that we all grow together, because that's how you get the most money. You can't have one company telling everybody, oh, don't let nobody else in. And everybody goes, okay. No, you need as many people in there as possible so you can get your worth. Because if somebody else won't pay, I was going to say another name. If somebody else won't pay, another brother will, if that makes sense.
Oh, man, guys, listen, we appreciate it. Hey, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. We'll get to some of those as well. I have a few more questions. I'm going to let these gentlemen get on to their busy day. Now, it wouldn't be me if I didn't bring this back around to HBCU. Now, Mr. Farmer, I have graduates, we have communication majors, we got sports broadcasters. How do HBCU communication students look to get involved in the G League, become broadcaster, become beat writers? Because we all know those are also a part of how you get your reach,
100%.
Based off how they get into the media. So how can they get into the G League and the media business of that?
Look, I think the G League is a fantastic place for folks to start. You're talking to a guy who started as a manager. I was the best guy at folding towels you ever going to find. Okay. My point being, though, that like you find a way in, and the G League G League teams are always looking for help, and that help, you got to be ready to jump in with 2 feet, and for the most part, they're paid opportunities, which is great.
Yeah.
But now jump in with 2 feet, and as I tell people, be a point guard. Okay. See the floor. Don't just see the task in front of you, setting this screen or grabbing that rebound. See the floor of everything that needs to be done, and get your job that's been assigned to you done, and then start gravitating over towards those things where, hey, I want to do this, and I see that this needs to be done. Let me jump in and help. And that's where I think the G League and G League teams are a fantastic opportunity for people to get their feet wet, learn on the fly. I like bringing people in who don't have the most experience. And I'm not, that's because I like people who have a chip on their shoulder. I like people who want to work and earn it. I think that's fantastic. So if I was, counseling somebody as to how to get into a G League team, I'd find the one closest to your market, and I'd start emailing the team, and I would, obviously there's tactful persistence, but I would email them and just say, hey, look, I just want to help. And I'd start off with the team president and be specific about what area you want to get involved in, but tell them that, look, I'm willing to run stats. I'm willing to run game notes to whoever needs them, whatever it may need to be done. And then you get your feet wet, you get started, and you develop those relationships so your feet are in the door. Anybody in the Dallas market, the Texas market, my email is readily available, but it's mfarmer@TexLegends.com. You send it to me, and I will forward it to the appropriate person on my staff. I'm not promising anybody a job. You're going to have to work. You have to earn it. You're going to have to interview. But then we will get you in front of the right people to make those decisions.
Hey, listen, half the battle is just getting in the door. Okay, half the battle is just getting in the door and sitting in front of the person and telling them about yourself, right? Because you can win somebody over just simply telling them about yourself and your hunger, your eagerness to get in there and work. So, Mr. Farmer, I appreciate that opportunity as well. Now, once again, it wouldn't be me if I didn't ask a little question, right? What advice would you give FCS conferences looking to grow and be creative? Because if we're in the same boat, you have the NBA, you have the Power Five. They're the top dogs, right? You have FCS, could be G League, could be soccer developmental leagues. To me, it's kind of similar. The way you've been a visionary and thinking down the line, how can FCS conferences and commissioners think down the line, and what advice would you give them to start looking in and dabbling in as well?
Call Hardy.
Look, I'm already in trouble already, Malcolm.
I think the greatest resource is your people. So investing in your people is hugely important. Empowering your people to make mistakes, because we're all going to make them. We just got to learn from them and go from there. And then I used to coach college basketball, and I coached at some low majors. And my mentality and the mentality we developed as a staff was, we may not have those Power Five budgets, but we can have Power Five mentality.
Come on.
And so we wanted to do Power Five stuff on a low major budget. And a lot of cases, working at the low majors was the best thing possible for me, because it made me learn new skill sets. It made me learn how to do something. Whereas the Power Fives of the world might just go spend the money and buy the software or hire more people to do it. The low major was a hell of an opportunity for me, because it made me learn it myself.
That's right.
So now I know just enough to be dangerous when I'm doing other stuff, and I can ask questions like, oh, I didn't know you knew how to do that. And I was like, well, I don't really know how to do it anymore because technology's moved on past me, but I understand the structure. I understand the process that went into it. So I think it's those things. It's investing in your staff, developing a culture of accountability, but empowering folks to make mistakes. Because that's the only way you're going to grow and you find things that work. And then having the mindset that you can still do things at a very high level. And frankly, you're going to be stronger because of it.
Yeah.
Come on, Mr.
Scott, if I could throw some meat on that, same thing. Now, I love Dr. Barnes. She's one of my favorites at the GCAC. I've been on a campus tour for the last couple of weeks where I visited each campus personally because I wanted to see what was going on in different places and whatnot. And Malcolm, you're so right, because education is the key. And when I say education, I don't say you have to necessarily have all the answers, but understanding the fundamentals first, because we have some very creative people in all of our communities, but because they don't understand the fundamental part, they never kind of get out of the blocks. So the commissioner and I sat down the other day, and once a month now we're having what I call whiteboard sessions, where I'm literally breaking this thing down to, this is what OLV stands for. This is what OTT stands for. This is how we write in the insertion order. This is what the proposal looks like to the buyer. This is what programmatic means. So she's like taking the notes and everything, because even though as I've had to learn, even though they have a doctor in front of their names, in certain cases, they have no idea what I'm talking about when I'm saying things to them. So it comes off as a scam or fraud, as some people would say. But I was like, no, this is how the industry talks. They just never told you. I'm going to tell you because I need you to know the fundamentals so that when I do a deal with the Texas Legends, you know how to pipe in and take advantage of the same opportunity and grow your reach. So you're going to see Paul Quinn, you're going to see Texas College, you're going to see Houston Tillotson, you're going to see all these get benefited. And the GCAC schools get benefited from these relationships. That's going to elevate everybody. Because trust me, Nissan is excited because I expanded my what?
Reach.
That's right. Yes, sir.
I love it. 2 more questions, and I'm gonna let you guys get up out of here. Mr. Farmer, HBCU basketball players, and I'm not going to go down the lane of, Deion Sanders of only one player being drafted. We know the NBA and how it's. But what do HBCU basketball players need to do to get on the radar of G League teams, of just what you guys are looking to be able to bring them inside and develop, and then maybe make that transition, or what's some pathways they can make that happen?
Not to borrow Hardy's word here, but reach. Look, HBCUs have got some great talent, and part of the challenge there is getting that talent more exposure. So that exposure can be helped by HBCU Plus and other venues, but like getting them exposure, the G League is a great way to do that too. We are the platform, we are the springboard into the NBA, right? Huge numbers of NBA players have spent time in the G League. We've got open tryouts where almost every team hosts them, where players can come in and show what they can do. And you know what? Maybe you play poorly on that day, or maybe you exceed expectations. Then you gotta, if you played poorly, go do it again. Okay? Don't let one failure be your story. You gotta go make it happen. And if you played well, then you got to go to training camp and you got to prove it. And the way that I look at things is I want nothing more than to have a mentality of I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove it every day. And once I do that, I'm going to prove it again tomorrow. And that's the opportunity. But HBCUs have got some great players. They need more exposure. They need more reach. And not every player is going to be an NBA player. That's the reality of the situation. But after that, it's about opportunity. And that's what the G League is all about. That's what HBCU Plus is all about, is opportunity. You give someone an opportunity, and who knows where they can take it. And that's how I see it.
I love it. Now, in the form of reach, when it comes to HBCU, is that TV time? Is that them promoting their own product? Is that them promoting players? What does that reach entail in very short words? You don't got to go into a long, but just because we know you don't have all the facilities to send scouts to every single. So what can they do to better help themselves?
I think it's all of it. I don't think you need to specify one thing, right? One school might be better at one of those things than another, but you got to start trying in a variety of areas. Not that you're not trying already, but like putting more into it and focusing on it. And then that exposure, who knows which one is going to be the one that, tips the domino over, but you do all of them. And you may find that as a school, as a program, you're better at some things than others. The Legends, we're better at certain things than others. It doesn't mean we stop trying in the areas we're not as good, but it means that, hey, we know we're going to, dominate over here.
Yeah.
We're going to crush it over here. In this area, we're growing. We're developing. Okay. That's the G League. And that's the opportunity. I like taking an area of the business or an area of the program every year and say, look, we're going to spend some more time on that.
Yeah.
Maybe that time results in huge growth, or maybe results in a little bit of growth. It's a stupid little thing, but like our summer camps. We started our summer camps 10 years ago. Had about 40 kids. Okay. I'll tell you, it didn't even make a dime. Okay. 10 years later, we've got 12 sold out camps year round.
Wow.
And it's like, what did we do? We just started doing it, and we did it every day.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's promoting players. That's the answer.
Yeah.
I don't think it's one thing, because each school is going to have different skill sets, different resources that they're going to be able to maximize to tip that domino over.
That's good. That's good. I like that. Last question for both of you all. Just want to get short answers so I can get you guys up out of here. What are some first year goals for the partnership? You know what I'm saying? Just in the totality, you could just say views. Whatever your first year goals. I know most businesses is 3 to 5 years. I know. You know what I'm saying? But just some first year quick goals that you guys want to see for this partnership.
Well, I definitely, on our side, we want to make sure that our quality of our product continues to improve. The tech guys are in the lab right now. It's crazy. If you ever see Microsoft people get together with Accenture people that get together with KJ, it's like the nerdiest conversations you want to have. But don't tell them I said that. But they're in the lab right now to increase and improve the product. And I always have to shout out to my guy Todd Brown, because Malcolm, I was telling everybody the ease of use comes from Todd. I tease Todd that he's like my 60-year-old curmudgeon, and he was so frustrated when we first came out with the app because you had to hit 2 or 3 buttons to get to the video. And he calls up screaming, going, "Come on, man, I can't find the video." And so I finally called KJ back and said, "Dude, take all that stuff down. When the person downloads the app, just go straight to the video."
Thanks.
And the rest is history. So I wish I could tell you I came up with that. He did. But so the quality of product, so that the end user, it has such an experience in watching what we're putting on, that they tell somebody else who tells somebody else who tells somebody else. That's my first year goal. And then on the back end of that, from the revenue side, the brands have already gotten wind. They immediately heard what was going on, and then they immediately made sure, hey, Hardy, let's make sure you have, again, all the accoutrements that we can have so we can buy more stuff from you. And that's where my good friend Malcolm now comes in to say, okay, now we got the media side covered. I need activation. I need on-site. I need signage. I need all these other things that go with it. And that's what makes this partnership so unique, in my opinion.
I want UEN to become more of a household name across all demographics. And I want, as a first year goal, and this may be more like 3 years, but we'll see. I want to see Hardy do another sports partnership outside of the G League. I want this to springboard him to where it's like, hey, I got a phone call from so-and-so because they saw this and they saw that. And it's all of a sudden he's looking at something else. And I to me, we're building blocks here. We're building bridges. And I think that's where the opportunity really begins to snowball.
I love it.
Now you see why he's my favorite guy in the NBA, right?
Listen. I need to start building bridges to the Texas Legends. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen. The Dallas Mavericks called us the other day. I told them they had to talk to Malcolm. So
and look, if that's the next thing, then like to me, I'm like success.
Mm-hmm.
That's hey, we took this and we built this on top of it. That's huge.
I love it. Man, I appreciate you guys for your time. I appreciate you guys coming on, explaining the deal, explaining the vision behind this deal, and where you guys see this going, like you said, Mr. Farmer, bigger than just now and going down the street and doing big things. Because, you know, Mr. Farmer's like, all right, made history. Let's
That's right.
keep it going. You know, I absolutely love that energy. Mr. Farmer, thank you for the dropping your email as well. Make sure you guys go back, watch it, get his email, reach out. Like you said, be eager, be ready to work. You know what I'm saying? Get in there, be the point guard, see the floor. Mr. Pelt, as always, you guys keep doing what you're doing, and I appreciate you guys' time. Any last words from you all?
See you, Malcolm. Thank you so much, my friend. God bless you.
Thanks, Scotty. Take care, everybody.
Anytime. Listen, guys, can't ask for anything better than that. Two of some big, major, hard hitters in the game of media. You have Mr. Farmer, Texas Legends, Mr. Pelt, UEN. I'm talking about major, major moves. Listen, this is what, at the end of the day, this is what you need to happen when you're talking about making changes in spaces. You got to get people who don't normally who aren't normally in rooms to see what that looks like. You got to see what it look like. You got to, sometimes somebody got to take you to the penthouse to see what it look like. You get what I'm saying? Like you might think you know what a penthouse look like. You might think you might know what a penthouse costs until you get up there and you're like, oh yeah, this is different. You know what I'm saying? So these are the men pushing media forward. Mr. Brown, Mr. Pelt, Mr. Farmer, you know, partnerships, you know, visionaries and things like that. And I love what Mr. Farmer said, and I'm gonna close on this. I love what Mr. Farmer said about the FCS conferences and some of the HBCU schools and what they have to do with the reach and promotion and things like that. But with the FCS conference, he said, hey man, you know, be willing to do something different. And also, it's okay to make mistakes. If you're not trying to fail, right? If you're not trying to fail, then you're just doing the basic stuff. If you're not trying something new and failing at it, you're just doing the same old, right? And I think that's where we as a culture, we as a people have to get out of that, of just saying we're going to do what's comfortable, stepping outside of that comfort, trying new things, right? Seeing if it's success and fail, and taking it and moving forward with it, right? So listen, later tonight, 7 o'clock, I might go live, I might not, but I really want to talk about, see if the swag is doing anything. From what I've been told, I don't think they're being broadcasted. But we will get more into that, man. Listen, I appreciate you. Appreciate you, Mr. Brown. You see, I try to do a little something. Thank you, my guy. You know what I'm saying? But listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.